Now then, people, welcome back to another episode of the White Rose Rivals. I hope you're all doing well. There's just three of us at the minute. Hal is in Bahrain. Matt can't make it. And Cossie will be joining us at 6:30. We don't know if he's going to be on a cricket pitch in Spain or Germany. He could be anywhere. So I'll tell you what we'll do. In the comments, I want you to tell us, where is Cossie? And then at R6, we can establish where he is. And you don't have to keep them clean if you don't want. You can put some mad guesses in there if you want. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. So this show, honestly, it's getting so much praise of lately. Cossie's on when he's worked out the tech. Exactly. Time for the best show on the internet to commence, says Russ. Big up to Russ.
Okay, that's good. I wish we got that on our podcast.
It's brilliant. Cossie will be by a cricket pitch. We'll see. Someone just said Lidl. Yeah, maybe. We'll wait and see. Ryan's back with us. Ryan, what a time to come back, mate. Oh, there we go. He's celebrating it.
What 20 seconds does to you, baby.
Do you know what? A couple of weeks ago, mate, I was so confident. I was like, do you know what? They're doing fine. And then before this weekend's games, I checked and I'd seen, obviously, because I just checked Plymouth if they were still in with a chance. Obviously, they're down. They'd have to beat us like 14-0. And then I seen your lot and I thought, oh, God, who've they got? And then you've got to go to Portsmouth, which is such
one of the harder grounds, isn't it?
Yeah, really. I mean, we got beat there 1-0. We've only been beat 4 times this season, and one of them was at their place. So I know how difficult it is. So, mate, talk to me. How are you feeling? And then you can tell us about what you were telling us off air as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm bricking it, to be honest. I've got two sides of me. I've got the side of me that's been watching Hull City for as long as I have, that I think this will be all right. I know by now that they're stringing it out for as long as they can, and then we'll just go and breeze it. But then the other side of me is saying, well, we're here for a reason, and realistically, we're just not very good. The last few games have proved that. All the stuff that's sort of going on off the pitch as well. It's not really ideal with players getting paid late in the wake of probably the biggest game of our recent history. Because the amount of money that we've chucked at last season and the turnover we've had this season, we're still paying really high wages. And if we go down to League One, I dread to think what'll happen, because there's the old narrative that you can go down and do what Birmingham have done, but you can't now because they've put a lid on that, haven't they? League One, yeah. They've protected that, and we don't know if our owner's selling up, win, lose or draw anyway. But I mean, that's the most worrying thing about being an Hull City fan. It's a great positive that it's in our hands. It's also the biggest negative that it's in our hands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mad. Do you know, I said just tongue-in-cheek in the group chat earlier on in the week that, Liam Rossigna got a brand new deal over at Strasbourg and turned down offers to return back to England to stay out there. And you're on the cusp of relegation. And you look at that decision now, and I know Hull City fans will say, well, it was actually the right decision. But does some of you, Ryan, look back and think, oh, God, what did we do?
The more I look at it now, I just think it's been a shit show, regardless of whether it's the sacking, whether it's the turnover of selling 16 players in a transfer window, bringing in 17, which we're doing pretty much every other transfer window now, whether it be summer or winter. I just think it's chaotic in a nutshell, and it's short memories. It kind of go back to last summer where, he did essentially fail with the squad he had. Yeah. In my opinion, anyway. I think that we should have come, because we were fourth at one point. Do you know what I mean? With them reinforcements, I think we should have got top 6. But then I think he'd have been knackered either way, because I think nothing was going to stop Adjum from fending off Ipswich for Jacob Greaves. I don't think we ever had a chance of bringing Delap back.
No.
And all the player sales is all well and good saying if Rossigna had stayed, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Adjun is the one in control. and it's been hectic from start to finish. I think we've signed nearly 100 players in 3.5 years.
Ooh.
So it just says it all. Like, I think Liam Rosenior, as brilliant of a job as he's doing out there, he'd be starting again with a full new squad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And let's not forget, I'm not putting any shade on the old Liam Rosenior thing, but he's walked into a squad they've pretty much got an unlimited budget. And I know at the end of the day, they're getting all these Chelsea loanees out there. They've got a very fresh young squad. He's got a lot to work with, and it suits him perfectly because he's brilliant with the young lads. What I can't imagine he's brilliant with is selling all his key assets, just being a yes man, and then the owner bringing in a full squad, different languages, different ages, different abilities that maybe don't fit his system. So, yeah, I think he'd have been knackered either way, but don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have minded him being here this season because I don't think we'd have been in this mess.
No, yeah, there's a lot to be said about that, Tim.
Yeah. So many different outcomes.
It's so refreshing to hear someone else's club having a batshit crazy owner, isn't it? You know,
well, not for me, but whatever gets you to sleep at night. Ash.
Yeah, well, it ain't my chairman, I tell you that.
What's been quite mad, obviously, this relegation battle, to be fair, has been insane. It's a real bit of excitement. I almost feel a little bit guilty, like not guilty, but after Plymouth did us a favour against Sheffield United, I was bouncing, and they've been on such a good run. But then there were that weekend where I think Plymouth won 3-1, Luton won 3-1. I can't remember, and it was just like, oh my god! Like, imagine winning 3-1 down there, and then on the same day, everyone else is getting results.
Yeah, well, about 6 weeks ago, we hit decent form, and I think we went about 7 with 1 loss or something like that, and there were 3 wins in there as well. So we were picking up sort of playoffy sort of points. Luton were winning, Cardiff winning, Plymouth winning. It meant nothing. Stoke actually leapfrogged our form as well.
Yeah, it's mad. So how does it go for you this weekend, Ryan? Like, what do you need to happen? Obviously, Luton are away at West Brom.
Yeah.
Preston, man. Preston are in there as well.
I think they're going to be the side.
Yeah.
Between us, I think they're going to be the side. I don't want to put anything on it, but so if we win, we stay up because Stoke and Derby play each other. Whatever outcome of that game, if we win, we'll overtake one of them.
Right.
And then if we draw, we need Preston, Luton, or Derby to to lose, and we'll leapfrog them.
Yeah.
And if we lose, we're down.
Wow.
So it's horrible to think that a win's everything you want, and the loss it's everything that you have nightmares about. It's them 45 games, the tick away, and then all of a sudden it comes down to this now.
It's all sorry, Joe. It's all great, isn't it? As a spectator, and obviously we were there last year.
As a neutral.
As a neutral for the league, it's a good job. Obviously, the top two, they've done it. But
what have the top two done? What did the top two do?
They've gone promoted, you know. But looking at the still stuff to play for, and I know still the playoffs are still to play for as well, isn't there? The other two positions. But then it's good to see that the relegation fight is down to the wire. And I did think that Plymouth were going to get out of it. I did think they were.
Yes,
they put on some great results, and they just fell off a little bit, aren't they?
I think they've got themselves to blame completely because now, obviously, but I mean, like now it's come to this last stage. They've hit good form again, and when that is it, Musilic, is that how you pronounce his name? When he first came in, they hit good form, but it's that little grey bit in the middle where they've just chucked the whole season away. Because if they could have just grinded out some of them results, I don't think they'd be in there now because they've got everyone behind them. They're playing well. There's no pressure.
He's had a bit of a funny press conference today, hasn't he?
Oh, what's he said?
He's done. He's called out the owner, the structure, and everything behind, saying that there's no. It sounds very much like a Sheffield Wednesday manager in waiting. He does. There's no director of football. There's no CEO. Do you know what I mean? There's one man at the top. and the structure. So he's basically in his press conference called it all out, and he's got a bit of love from some fans, but then obviously other fans have. It's but yeah,
if they don't appoint Rooney, they don't get relegated.
Yeah,
he's that bad. He's taken Derby down. He's taken Birmingham down. He's taken Plymouth down, or had a massive hand in them relegations.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were. I know it was the first game of the season, and we beat them 4-0 at home. But they were one of the worst teams that have come to Hillsborough. 4-0. I know it's first game, so everyone's a bit rusty.
Lowe managed to score against him, didn't
he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. They can't say that many times this season. But Ugbo didn't, which has been another miss signing from us for really. But yeah.
I think looking at it, I think Preston's your safest bet. Just because obviously we walloped Bristol City on Monday. If they win, they're in the playoffs, aren't they? And they're at home.
Yeah, it's everything to them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. I think they go out and win that game, beat Preston, and as long as you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, even a draw, I think actually. Yeah, it would be because
a draw. If Preston lose and we draw, we stay up.
Yeah, because of the goal difference.
I just don't think we can go into the game thinking like that. I'd sooner go for it and lose. Do you know what I mean? Than sit there. Because imagine sitting there all game and just conceding the first at the end. Do you know what I mean? Which I am expecting. I'm fully expecting to drive down to Portsmouth for 88 minutes of disappointment and then a little bit of something at the end. But
yeah. And
I
guess if you go down, there's no chance of signing the superstar. Joffy, is there, mate? He's been flying, hasn't he?
God, no. I full-on fell in love. You see this big empty wall?
Yeah.
Big portrait of Joffy. It's on its way now.
Is it really?
I'm in love with him.
In a Leeds United shirt, that's a bit harsh, isn't
it? No, he's one of the. He seems like he's got down and dirty with the lads. I mean, he's got some friends, hasn't he, with the Wigan lads?
Yeah.
But he just clicks. Do you know what I mean? And he just gets it. He knows what's at stake. And it's just some of these you can tell they're picking up a pay packet and they're already looking about what's going to be happening in the summer. Do you know what I mean? But I genuinely think he wants to come back to Hull City. I really do believe that. But to be honest, the question also remains is if we do stay up, will we even have the funds to pay you? Because I reckon you're gonna want like.
No, he won't be cheap. Yeah.
No, 5. Would you say about 5 mil?
Yeah, I'd honestly I don't know because I genuinely won't like to put a price on it. It's hard to think because obviously
he's a championship player.
Yes, yeah.
He's absolutely a championship player, and I'd say he's like that middle to like sort of like 14th to 6th. I'd say he's about there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And wait.
Oh yeah, we might be out.
He's still carrying us to an extent. He's managed to, I think he's 1 goal off joint top scorer with 6, and Joffy's got 5.
I think what it's shown though, we're saying Joffy, regardless of what happens with yourselves. I mean, I hope you stay up, but he'll get a move to a championship club on the.
Of course he will.
On the back of his time.
I mean, to be fair, mate, you've got Birmingham and Wrexham coming up. They'll be looking at this straight away. Because they've got the money to spend, haven't they?
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens with Birmingham because their owners saying like we're going to be competing with the lower end Premier League teams and
Wrexham have said the same, haven't they?
Have they? Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I don't know that much about the consortium around Birmingham. To be fair, like what's their incomings and stuff, but. With the amount of brass that's coming into Wrexham through the TV series, through Disney, through whatever situations they've got going on in the US as well, because that's where a lot of their bread and butter's coming from, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
But like the money they're going to be able to spend in the division, it's going to be ridiculous, I'd say. The fact that they're bringing Jay Rodriguez down to League One,
mad, isn't it? Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Yeah. I'd have took Jay Rodriguez in Jan. I seriously would.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, it is mad. You're right, mate. we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of Leeds fans think Wrexham want Paddy Bamford, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He's done all right, last few weeks. He's done all right. So we'll see.
Oh, are you coming around to the idea of him staying then, Joe? There?
No, I'm not there. It'd be interesting, Ash, because he's in final year of his deal. So whether or not the club agree to pay it up and let him go, or they keep him as an option in the Prem, I'm not sure. But he's only got 1 year left, and I don't know. I think Leeds will go quite big. I think we'll spend quite a bit.
I think you have to. That's not just to dig at Leeds either. To compete, to compete the money that Ipswich have spent, and bearing in, they've still looked like men against boys most games. They could barely keep on to a winning position, because I swear they scored first in a lot of their losses. Do you know what I mean? Like they haven't all just been kicked down the road, but. Yeah, I just think with Leeds, I saw a video the other day with Leeds as well, and when people do a predicted transfer window,
right?
We'll go and get Rutter back, we'll go and get Somerville back, and you think no, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think you will go big, because more than likely you're the club that have the nous and the sort of the size to stay up.
I hope so, mate.
I'd say.
I hope so. Interesting to see.
Would Bamford be on any sort of wage rise for a promotion?
Yeah, I'd imagine a lot of them will have. Yeah, mate, a lot of them will have it in their contract. I even think Joffrey might be due one, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I think
more good news.
Yeah, I think there's always bonus in there. I know they had to half, maybe half might be a little bit strong, but when we got relegated,
I think
know
it
a lot
normally is half.
Yeah, is it half? Yeah, the salaries came down. Yeah, he was on, like Dr. Cox says, he was on 70 grand a week when we were in Prem, because we signed him. We gave him a 5-year deal after he scored 17 goals in Prem that season. Spurs were linked with him as a backup.
Yeah.
And then we signed him on a 5-year deal. He just got an England call up. He scored 17 goals, whatever it was. And he got a 5-year deal on at 70 grand a week. And then obviously, apparently it went down to 46. But that'll go back up again for a lot of them, won't it? So... maybe he does stick around for that final year, to be fair. We'll have to wait and see. Boys, just while we talk Leeds, obviously, title is what it is. If it's Burnley, if it's us, I'm not really that arsed, if I'm honest. I'd rather us lift it on the parade than the second place trophy, because that's very tin pot. So hopefully we do win it. But who do you think Leeds have a chance to stay in the Premier League, or do you think the gap's too big?
I think I'd say I'm putting this down. A good season would be 17th.
Yeah, same. Agreed.
The gap's that big.
Yeah,
I'd honestly say, because Wolves are going to lose Cunha more than likely. I'm not being funny. He's dragged them through half of this season. That little period when Vitor Pereira first came in, that was all Cunha. It was straight after he'd nabbed that lad's glasses and nutted someone, wasn't it?
It was.
But, I think them losing him could really be the difference of them swapping for one of the top three. And I'd say you lot are the most likely. And you're a well-oiled machine. And what we've noticed is a lot of previous years, Leeds have tended to drop right in that last third. What would you say? Third quarter of the season, just before the end. But you had your little wobble and you couldn't get knocked off your perch this time. Do you know what I mean? You kind of got back down and cracked on. So I don't know if that'll be the difference.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I know that much.
Do you, Joe, or do the fans trust Farker in the Premier League though?
I do.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm opening it up there because I know I've seen it online, and last week there were the rumours about obviously bringing someone in, but obviously with like Ryan said, Ipswich spent 120 odd million, I think, somewhere around that. So you're going to be saying you're going to be having to spend that sort of money.
Of course.
Is he the man to be able to spend that money?
It's hard because everyone these two camps. One doesn't want to give him a chance at all because of his time at Norwich, and I think he deserves a chance because over the last 2 seasons he'll amassed over 190 points You know, that is not an easy thing to do. Everyone goes, yeah, but I'd win league with that squad, and it's like, but would you really? Yeah. I don't think so. It's not easy to do. You know, to lose 4 games all season is not fucking easy, no matter how good your squad is.
Yeah, he's great, good manager.
Yeah, I agree, and you know, he did all right at Mönchengladbach. I think the context we have to apply is Norwich. He got nothing to spend. Like one of his signings was Sam Byron for 700,000. I think they worked it out. I think on TalkSport it might have been Simon Jordan. I think in his tenure with the sales, like of Buendia, I think he'd spent about 9 million in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Nothing, is it? It's
especially bearing in mind this is like up to 2021, was it?
Yeah.
So that's recent. That's
exactly.
When Foot is big money.
Yeah,
I think just adding
like 9 million now, right?
It's not even a League One striker, is it?
Exactly.
No.
It's not even a quarter of what you'd play for a player in Prem these days. Do you know what I mean?
It's not even League One's top scorer, let alone a League One striker.
Yeah. He was 15 million. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, I think it's unfair to use that as a yardstick. I think we have what we've shown over the last couple of seasons with the 49ers. The recruitment's been bang on. Joe Rodon, Ampadu, Tanaka, Piru, you know, all these players, Solomon on loan, they've all hit. Like the only one that missed was
in the championship, though, Joe.
100%. But my point is, they've bought for that league and bought really well for that league.
I think one of your arguments as well is with Ipswich spending what they did spend, that 120 million. That foundation was a League One squad. Yours isn't. You're about to bang out at least 120 million whilst having this team exactly. Like regardless of what happened last season, you were still up there. Do you know what I mean? You finished third, was it? Yeah,
like Sam Morsey was playing in midfield in the Prem. He's not a Prem player, is he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's not. So yeah, you agree with you there. I do think we have a more balanced squad. I think, you know, Tanaka's played to a decent level. Ampadu has had a shot at the Prem before, although he was very young. So rode on the same at Spurs. So I think they'll go up with a point to prove, much like the manager. I mean, he was asked today in the presser, what about those that doubt you? And he said, I've got nothing to say. I don't need to prove myself. I've had a good career. And, you know, if they doubt me, that's fine. But I want to, you know, get us stable in the Prem. So,
yeah, can't say fairer, can you?
No, it's all about recruitment as well, lads. Like, if it doesn't matter who your manager is, if you bring in Dross, you will go down. Ultimately, you will go down. So we need to make sure that the right players are bought, and we'll see. I'm interested to see how Pirro gets on. Will he be able to do it or not in the Prem? Because sometimes he goes missing in games. But if he's in front of goal, for me, it doesn't matter what division you're in. If you're in front of the goal, you can score. Does that make sense? Like the goals are the same. Okay, the keepers are better. But it's going to be an interesting one. We'll see.
Timo Pukki enters the chat.
Exactly. It's mad. Just on the top 6 before we discuss Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, Sheffield United and Sunderland are in. There's 2 spots left. Bristol City, Coventry, Millwall could still get it. Blackburn. I think Middlesbrough play Coventry. So if Middlesbrough win, that would then put them in over them, but that depends on what's happened in between. Who do you think gets in there, lads, them last 2 spots? I think Bristol City will beat Preston personally.
I do. I think it stays as it is. I think it'll be Bristol City and Coventry. Yeah.
You think
Coventry we need Bristol City to win for the people. We need Bristol City to win.
Yeah, you're right. I do think Bristol, just because they were shite against us, they'll have a point to prove. I mean, I know it was 4-0, but it could have easily been more. They were so bad. Coventry to beat Borough then, Ash, do you think, which confirms them? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Obviously, got no dog in the fight because there's only one team that I want to lose. I ain't really bothered about the others, but and he's not here, is he? So I can think. But I think Bristol City, they've been that the perennial mid-table championship side with their neighbours Preston, who are at the other end. So you could see the the Championship mid-table sides, one going up and one going down.
Some stories just write themselves.
From a selfish standpoint, I'd love Bristol City to go up because they're definitely coming back down. Do you know
oh yeah,
so you're not going to finish 20th.
That's 6 points on the board for you straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Like no matter how much money they get, they just haven't got the foundations to be competing. No way.
I don't know I can't remember the name of the guy, but there's a Bristol City fan, isn't there? That Kieran. He'll be clipping that in case they do go up. He'll get the receipts for that one, mate, won't he?
Yeah. He was telling us they were going to get a draw on that at Ellen Road, and then they got absolutely wiped. But who would be your picks then? Who would be your pick to join Leeds and Burnley?
I've relentlessly said Coventry since Coventry left 19th place with Lampard. I think the way that we were like his third or fourth game and just the way they played against us, even when we went 1-0 up, thought we don't stand a chance here. And they've just grown and grown and grown. I think Championship, Lampard is a very good manager. And I think he's proved, well, it depends, doesn't it? But I think he's proved now what he did at Derby and now what he's done at Coventry. I think they definitely should be in there. And I thought up until about 4 weeks ago, they had the momentum to have it secured by now, but just dropped off, haven't they? I'd like to see Millwall get in there. I think that'd be interesting.
Well, that means they beat Burnley, mate. If they beat Burnley, then we've won the title. So I'd take that.
So it's one of them. I don't know. To be honest, I'd say by default, I want Bristol to get in there because I need Preston to lose. So I think Coventry absolutely get in there. So I'm going to say at the minute it's Bristol, Cov, Millwall in it. So I'd just say stay the same.
Yeah, I think it'll stay the same.
Yeah. In terms of who goes up, who
Bristol.
goes up out?
Bristol City for me.
Really?
Just purely just purely on. They've not been there. They'll do. Yeah. No doubt they'll do a Luton. You know, up there, all the way up there.
What about
Sheffield United have been there? Sunderland have been there.
What about?
Is there any bias in your opinion whatsoever?
No bias at all.
Because it won't be Sheffield United, though. I hope it isn't Sheffield United for what it's worth.
No, it'll be boring if it is. Same lot every year, isn't it?
Well, there is that argument, though, isn't there? The 3 up, 3 down argument. But the thing is, I would imagine, and I'm not saying that Sheffield United have been they've been up there 3 times in the last 10 years now, or something like that.
Yeah,
they should now be really investing. If they go up, they haven't before, have they? 20 million on Brewster and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Will Bristol City, will they do like a Luton? If Bristol City go up 120 odd million, whatever they get, are they just going to go, right, consolidate, we'll keep that money, we'll buy the bare minimum and get them, and then come back down and then stay in the Championship for God knows how many years with the parachute payments?
Weird one, isn't it? Because when you think about it, what's happened with Brentford, there's absolutely room for growth as a Premier League team there with Bristol.
And Bournemouth,
Yeah. Like, realistically, they've probably got a bigger opportunity to bring in more fans and extend the club fan base and whatnot, a lot more than Brentford and Bournemouth, I'd say anyway. So the opportunity is definitely there, but it's a lot easier said than done, isn't it? And I mean, that, like you said, Joe, that recruitment is the main thing when you go 100%. Up. And the thing is, if you make one wrong signing, say you just get some, like, I don't know, you spend 35 million, 40 million on some centre mid that's never played there, and you've got to play him all season because the chairman's forked out on him. You're knackered.
Yeah, that's true. I actually think as well, and it might be a bit left field, but I think Sunderland might do the playoffs. They also have a terrible record at Wembley, but their league form has been shocking, but he's been resting a lot of players and playing a lot of youth and stuff, I think, as Reggie Labrie. So he's probably open on his better players all having that rest and just going at it sort of afresh. So we'll see what happens. They've
been stuck in 4th for a while now, haven't they?
Exactly.
They weren't going to get caught, and they weren't going to catch whoever finished 3rd. So I think you're right on there, Joe. If you look at their form, it'll give you a false reading of what they're at. So you're right, mate. But then again, should you want to be going into playoffs winning? not experimenting with the youngsters.
Of course. Yeah.
Not only that, you've got to think of match sharpness with your main boys as well. If they haven't played for a couple of weeks, all sorts can come into play, can't it?
It can. Right, it's past, which means everyone's favourite town fans joined us as well. He's waiting in the wings, looking all fresh in his umbro. Cossie!
Now then, guys, what a day. 28 degrees. It's like being on beach, a bit like our team's been since like February, really. But we've lost 7 out of the last 8, and we could lose 8 out of the last 9. Leighton Orient, right? Leighton Orient got a win to get it playoffs. They couldn't have a better team to be playing on Saturday than us. Honestly, it's been a disaster for us. But
how's it gone so wrong, Cossie, man? Because do you know whose fault it is? Yours, because you said you get top 2, and then ever since you get top 2, you've just gone. Boom.
Mate, I'm like Paul Mercer. I saw him today going back Lamine Yamal. He's watched him about twice this season, hasn't he? And all of a sudden, he's the best player and all this lot. Honestly, it comes out with some stuff in, but where's it gone wrong, Joe? Just unbelievable, mate. I think it felt like the foundations must have been kind of done with quicksand, really, mate. And I think we missed such a chance because I know Ryan might have different ideas, but all are surely going to be up there next season. Cardiff are in a bit of disarray, I think, financially, but you'd still expect them to be up there.
Going to be up there.
Are you relegating Hull?
You're relegating Hull.
What do you mean?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Sorry, right.
Yeah, you did do that on purpose. You knew that, Cosy. You know your football.
Does he think he's staying up? I didn't watch first half, is it? Yeah.
Oh, he's confident. Oh, he's buzzing, Ryan is. Cosy, he missed it.
Mate.
We'll be all right.
Mate,
they might go. I don't know. I think Preston get beat by Bristol City. Hull get a point, and that's them out. There you go.
I'll tell you what, though. I know Leeds were unbelievable tonight, but Bristol City could be at Premier League next season. It's a bit scary, really, isn't it? But I mean, you just got to take it if it comes, doesn't it? We know about that gap, but Joe, you're going there Monday. You're getting there with. You could do a live podcast, couldn't you?
Yeah, I'm going on Monday, mate. I can't wait. To be fair, after on Easter Monday, after I watched Burnley beat Sheffield United, I jumped in car and drove down, and I got there arse end of it. Everyone were leaving, man. As I was driving into Park Up, everyone's walking off. I was like, no.
There'll be about 8 million there, won't there, Joe? 8-9 million on there on Monday. 10 million. What about them?
You'll be getting spotted walking around with your Leeds Rhinos top on, man. I tell you.
Mate, I'll stay clear of Leeds, especially with that half marathon and all on Sunday. I won't be doing that, mate. I could hardly walk today. It's shambles. I need a mobility scooter, mate.
I'm doing that on 11th.
Oh, yeah, doing that. Yeah. Wow. Of course, it's 11th, isn't it? Not next week. Yeah, not
I've done zero training for it, right? I used to run. I used to enjoy it, and I thought I'll be all right. And then on Monday, I went, do you know what? I'll go and do steady 7 mile and see how I get on. I managed 3.5. I was fucked. I thought, oh no.
Mad. Yeah, Joe, I'll tell you what was funny. I know shit, how does this moved on these days, hasn't it? But them Everton flares that were knocking about for that Liverpool.
Brilliant. Yeah,
honestly, mate, there was so much salt on certain groups I saw, like, because if that's Everton fans getting a kick out of that, it just shows how bad you are. But I thought it was quite funny, actually.
Yeah,
elite shithouse in that. Elite.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You've got to appreciate that.
Yeah, same. It's really brilliant, isn't it? We were just saying, Cossie, who our picks were for playoffs in terms of who goes up along with Leeds and Burnley. What do you think, mate?
Have you written Sheffield United off then, Joe? What? It's
I think they've got a terrible record, haven't they? I don't think they've ever won at Wembley. I don't think.
I know they've got to say it's a new competition and all this lot, and it don't matter what happened, in the remaining the 9 months before, but it just feels, doesn't it, at this stage that it's a huge ask for them to go up now, doesn't it? And to me, if they go up in these playoffs, I think it'd be Wilder's biggest ever achievement, to be honest with you, mate. Even surpassing, the promotion the other time, or maybe even when he were at Northampton or something like that, mate, because it just feels like kind of that they're in trouble. But I know it's a bad example. Monday night because Leeds were good as usual, but Bristol City, let's yell if they get up. I think they'll get in there, Bristol City, but yeah, would you want them anywhere near? And I suppose you've just got to get up and just take. It's crap now, isn't it? There's probably obviously that stadium, Joe. That is it going to be 56,000? But how quickly can that be done? But I didn't read enough about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It'll be a while yet, mate. It'll be a while yet. see, with that as well, and of course, look, I was going when we haven't been in Prem for a while, and it weren't getting full. Do you know what I mean? And there is that worry, isn't there? You know, that if we've got a season ticking waiting list now, but if things go to shit, you're only a couple of years away from fans switching off again, aren't you? So it is a big commitment. Andrew said it'll be done by 2028. Mr. Dodos thinks about 5 to 6 years. I'm not too sure because they're just building the back and stuff out there and up. It's not going to be like knocking something down and going again. But it looked beautiful, though. I won't lie to you. It looked great.
It did. It was quite a cool little thing, wasn't it, with that drone and that going around. But obviously, I'm imagining you think you're going to win the league. I mean, Burnley going to get 100 points and not win it. It's mad, isn't it?
Mad.
But Birmingham got 108 in our division, mate. I mean, have they got 104 now? So, I can't remember what it is. I think it's 107, I think, if they win on Saturday. But it's unbelievable. We're 48 points behind Birmingham, Joe. It's a disgrace, mate. I know. And we thought we got
a team that we're getting second as well, is it?
Oh, Joe, we better not be having a low lights of the season pod where you're going to be putting all this stuff back to us. I'm trying to think what I've got right. Apart from that electric toothbrush sorting my teeth out, I don't think there's much else really from a football sense. But no, honestly, I look at that. It's like a graveyard, that championship. Once you get in a rut, though, obviously, like Hull. Not been great last season, obviously this season. Cardiff have done what we did in a strange way. They kind of left the Premier League, struggle after struggle.
Been plateauing, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's the trouble is.
I tell you what, I think it'll be Stoke next as well. I think they can only keep getting away with it for so long. Do you know what I mean?
I think the trouble is, Ryan, it's like we were told that, we're going to win more games. And to be fair, we've won 19, but we've lost 18. Honestly, the last 3 months been a disaster. But everyone says, new grounds, new this and that and the other. But it gets to a point, as you'll know, when Wednesday we're down there, you're just like, I've had enough of this division. You don't want it. When you see like Burton winning, a couple of 100 fans going nuts in your away end and stuff, you're thinking, shit. But I know it's obviously not
as well. Barnsley.
Yeah, Barnsley, another one.
Now, aren't they? And they don't look like they're showing any signs of.
Yeah. Ryan, obviously you'll have talked about it, I'm sure, but what's going on with this wages? And you, Ash, have you passed on your late salary disease down M62 or what, man?
Bit worrying, isn't it? Yeah. Jesus. I mean, there's all the rumours are coming out now. Win, lose or draw on Saturday. Owner's going to be selling up. Not interested. He said apparently the gamble was last season. He was putting all his eggs in that basket, didn't pay off, and he's just gone now. There's rumours of. I mean, I hope there's no substance behind it because I think that'd finish me off. But there's rumours that the Allams are now floating around again after it took us 10 years to get rid of them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they're floating around as a potential buyer apparently. But yeah, don't look good. Not in preparation with your biggest game in recent history anyway. I thought even if like the local media knew about it might be good to just keep it under wraps for a week. Do you know what I mean?
I think it could turn nasty, Ryan, if the worst happens on Saturday and
big time.
There's a lot of anger.
Honestly, you just stick #HCAFC on Twitter and just read through it. It's a war zone at the minute. Like there's people comparing Adjun to the Allams, and I don't get it because all he's done is chuck a load of money in.
He has put money in, hasn't he?
He's absolutely put his money where his mouth is. But it's whether he writes off the debt or he walks and leaves us in it. That's what's going to be the determining factor. But I still believe in him. But I think he's someone that not much seems to go wrong for him. Do you know what I mean? But I think he really needs to handle this perfectly. Because can he redeem himself? Yeah. Because realistically, you write this season off, he maybe walks away from big decision making, lets the director of football do it. We slowly build again, don't spend stupid money, and all of a sudden all's forgotten about, and you're slowly ticking along. What we don't need is every summer expectation that we're going to get promoted and then chuck in the kitchen sink at it. Do you know what I mean? Because the amount of people that have got players on the shirts that have left already, and it's this season or last season's shirt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got a question for you guys. So we haven't got a director of football. He got the axe 2 weeks ago. And we've not got a manager. part of me is thinking, obviously, you'd expect your director of football to be in first to appoint the manager, but do you think maybe sometimes it might not be an idea for the manager to come in and kind of appoint a director of football? Because I kind of look at some of our recent appointments and they've not met eye to eye, and I don't know, there's so much work that needs to be done at Huddersfield. It's pretty scary, really, and you could say, yeah, it's like the end of the season, but was it end of June when they come back for training? We need about 8 new players, a director of football, a new head coach. Season cards is a shambles. I think we sold about 6,000. There's so many people not renewing because of them prices we talked about on the show and stuff. And I think it's one of those. I think the people are kind of saying, "What he's put his money in, but it's like it's just been badly spent, guys." And it's like it's a lot of people are feeling a bit like myself included that really, even if you get a good coach, as probably Ash could tell you, like if you haven't got a ball sorted, I don't think sometimes it matters because you're kind of doing it and behind your back, and that's what worries me. It's all right, we could get a good coach to the top of that. Des Buckingham coming in from Oxford. I don't know if it could be rumours, bollocks, or what have you, but I'm just thinking, as good as the coach is, it's like if it's all turbulent and people are interfering upstairs and stuff, you can't really get on me a job. It's a bit worrying, really. I think all our 3 clubs have got. I know yours are different because it's like signing the right players, but I think Wednesday Huddersfield got real uncertain summers. Really, I think it's not sorry to be depressing, but I think
it feels the shittest on a Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's on its ass, man. We're sick of carrying it. We're sick of carrying it on our back, man.
Yeah, because we're in the same situation. We've just got the dictator at the top, and then the manager. There's nothing in between. No director of football, no CEO. We've got a general manager in there, and that's about it. And it's been said about Danny Rule doing all sorts behind the scenes, booking hotels and organising travel and stuff like that. You don't want to be hearing that from probably having a manager that's one of our brighter managers we've had for years and years. That obviously he's going to go in the summer, and we're losing probably because of the owner and broken promises.
Ash, was that old news or something? Or some of that this week? I don't know if you're on a Facebook account, but it said Chansiri were firing back at a fan. I don't know. You never know with some of these fan accounts if it's like old stuff regurgitated from 2 years ago, but it were proper. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's like, I got a minute, this is Chansiri speaking here, and it were proper ripping him on it.
Yeah, there's been a few fans that have messaged him on LinkedIn and got messages back, saying all sorts and not really in a. I mean, I don't think you really can put professional and Chansiri together, to be honest, but not in a very professional manner. I mean, we've seen your owner, Cozzy, many a time on social media.
Oh, man.
And it's just a blessing that I don't think Chansiri has Twitter, Facebook, or anything like that.
I can't believe he's done it on LinkedIn, Ash. LinkedIn. When you sign up for it, it says like professional account, professional. Because I've always thought LinkedIn, that's business, and you stay professional. Because I look quite professional on LinkedIn, but obviously my Instagram or what have you. But to say Chansiri booting off, I can't believe it's LinkedIn. Yeah. That is unbelievable. Yeah, wow,
it's not pretty at Sheffield Wednesday at the moment in quite a few departments.
That's funny.
It's bad. I'll tell you what, though, from the outside looking in, because, like, on a positive thing, Jonathan Oggs, like, leaving Huddersfield after, God, it sounds a bit rude, that, but 12 years, 13 years at Huddersfield. But you know what? He'll be known as like, the guy at Watford, that Watford-Leicester game, which is the most, for me, I don't think there's been a better finish in football than, I know people will say Aguero
Whoa. Calm you.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, Cozzy.
But just with context, though, just with context, when obviously it's how many years ago isn't that? About 12 years ago when Leicester took a dive to win that penalty. Then Almunia saves it, and it comes down over end and Deeney. To me, and Ogwa was the guy who kind of headed it back across for Deeney to jump in the crowd. But it's 12. I think it's been at Huddersfield for like 12 years, but it's unbelievable.
That moment is huge, but Troy Deeney doesn't half beg it. Like, I've heard him on podcasts saying, no matter where I am in the world, people always will say to me, I remember where I was that day you scored the goal. And I'm thinking, shut up, Troy. Like, no, they don't. No, they do not. Like, okay, fair enough. But not around the world with people watching Watford versus Cardiff City. I'm not having it. Do you know what I mean? He's full of shit.
Joe, I know a guy who don't do Sky because he's got a beef with Sky, but he does have that Now TV for when the playoffs are on. Which, honestly, question for you, because obviously you're not in it, like obviously last year. But for me, whoever invented them playoffs, it is. I don't care if it's League Two, League One, whoever. It is the most. You can't take your eyes off them. They're the most amazing games out there. They're unbelievable. Like.
Yeah.
I absolutely love watching that. When you think what's at stake, I mean, that Premier League game when we were there, 2017, what was it, 100 million? What's it up to now? About 800 million or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but it's... But the trouble is, it's like Southampton, that joy last year, obviously it's been hell on earth, but obviously you'll have some other good stories. But being Bradford, God, Joe, if you get a Bradford fan on next year, bloody hell, that could be unbelievable. But they've done so much their best to cock that season up this season, and they're going to get up. Might be about 60 odd points. It's unbelievable, but them playoffs, mate. I love them so much. It's when you're in them, it's hell on earth. When you're not in them, it's just popcorn. Get on your sofa, get your beers out. It's happy days, isn't it? Like on that.
Yeah. Who do you think will win them, Cossey, in Championship?
In our division, I'll just call all the divisions and stuff. That Championship. We're at Coventry at League 2. I haven't got a table off.
They
play Borough
as well. They play Borough, so if they beat Borough, they're in.
Yeah, I think if they get in it, mate, it could be their time. But there'll be a lot of people in Leeds hoping Coventry get to the final and lose. Probably what they're. But
that'd be nice, mate. It'd be nice. You know what? Yeah. Though? Like, I don't think I could deal with the Frank Lampard loving if they did get promoted, because all the media would be like, "Oh, Lampard, Coventry," and then they go down. It'll be nothing to do with him. It'll be, what was he expected to do with Coventry? And it's like, fuck off. I can't stand that manager.
I think Charlton will win ours, Joe. As much as it pains me to say it, Nathan Jones, we should have got him, mate. We should have got, whether it had made a difference with Nagel interfering, who knows? But love him or hate him, mate, and most hate him, don't they? But obviously, they're playing some right football, mate. I think Charlton will be too strong for League One, and hopefully no one but Bradford.
How do you think Birmingham and Wrexham will get on?
Well, I mean, that you can say what you want about having money, because we've proven even at League One you can cock it up with signings, but 3 promotions in a row, that's pretty insane, isn't it? But I'm a bit of name dropping here, but I went to cricket last week with the guy who writes for The Athletic for Wrexham, and he was saying the expectation level now, I think they'd lost drew with Bolton, or they drew home with someone they should have won, and they got booed off. And it's like, people can't believe it. Like 3 years ago, whatever, they were playing Boreham Wood, and it's like the expectation level now is unbelievable. But you've got to take your hat off to it, because I think we've proven you can have the money, but you can make a pig's ear out of it. So fair play to them, mate. I would hoping Wycombe would get that second spot. But to have 3 promotions in 3 years, and I remember Phil Parkinson said at the start of this season, they interviewed him on Sky when they go around them grounds like a week before, and he said, we're going to consolidate. And I thought, that's absolute bollocks, mate, because them Reynolds, them Hollywood dudes, they don't do consolidation. They just want it all, don't they? So, it's going to be interesting. And then, obviously, FFP kicking next year, or whatever it's called now, where you're going to have Leicester dot points, Birmingham, that'll be interesting to see what they're going to have to do, because I don't know. I think if they go up with all that, then... But I think that'll make an harder championship. Them two. I don't think Wrexham will be there. And James McLean, mate, again, love him or hate him, mate, he's been massive there in that promotion. They've signed right, mate. They have Rodriguez. I can't help but be a bit envious, really, because we were kind of toe-to-toe with them until January. But they got their signings right. We've got them wrong, mate, and that's why they're in the championship. But Birmingham, again, another one. I know you should. What is it, 40 million for a striker, but ultimately they've done it in total style, haven't they, and that as well. And it'll be interesting if they can go again. Ipswich went bang bang, didn't they? Can Birmingham do it? Maybe even Wrexham, but you can guarantee Sky. Another thing that, anyway, while I'm on a rant, I'll let someone else speak in a minute, but it happens in rugby on Sky. Why is Sky they show the people in the stands more than the pitch these days? Managers, actors, it does my head in. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's like we don't want to see Ryan Reynolds every minute. Get the camera on the pig in field.
Did you watch the boxing?
Oh no, but it's showing Eubanks all the time.
But it was showing these Lucky Likes. I don't know what was going on, but they had Ed Sheeran.
What? The ring card instead of the
what were they not proper? What it not him?
No, Hannibal Lecter, David Beckham. It were all just like, what's going on here? It was proper weird.
It
proper
was.
weird.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
had the
watch the
lookalikes
boxing
going ring. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. They had the
It's
ring.
funny how people forget stuff. I'm talking about boxing. I saw a video today with Carl Froch. I don't know what it was about, but it was at Wembley and there were loads of younguns and must have been doing a
that
tour.
one when he's speaking to them kids?
Yeah, no one knew. Yeah. Have you seen
that?
Yeah. He was saying, I fought George Groves 80,000. It was only 10 years ago. Just when I knew at the fight and all this, and they were looking at him as if to say, "Who's this?" Like,
someone come and pick up the granddad?
Yeah, it was.
It's bad now, and it's like Beckham. You're going about Beckham and that Simeone kick and all that. People don't have a clue, but we are getting old, aren't we? We're getting old, man.
We are.
Bad.
We are, mate. Yeah, definitely. But the boxing was great. The boxing was great on Saturday. And I'm glad.
I'm glad that they patched it up. It looked an uneasy truce, to be fair, didn't it? Eubank and his dad. But you're welcome to White Rose Boxing Thursday night.
You know what though? When he came on, genuinely, I got so giddy when it showed him getting out of the taxi where they got out of the car.
That's something off wrestling, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quality.
It's like staged, wasn't it?
Listen, I still watch WWE.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When you think Prince Nassim, when you think Prince Nassim Ahmed now, he was ahead of his time, wasn't he? With them walk-ons and stuff.
Course,
and everyone were like, "Wow, this is incredible." I know people who just watched them walk-ins and then turn fight off when he started. Like they loved it, but
it was
unbelievable. Yeah, that's what we're going to do with Joe. It's Summers. We're going to do a boxing podcast, Joe.
Yeah, something like that, eh?
Oh, chocolate, yeah. Chocolate podcast, but yeah. How's it feel though? Just like going up? Does it?
Oh, we don't want to hear that, Cozzy. Shut up, man.
Sorry, Ash.
We'll have all.
To be honest, mate, I want to know if we get the title on weekend for parade.
Does it matter for you that? I know it.
Not really, mate.
No,
not really. Honestly, it doesn't. But obviously, we didn't get to celebrate the Bielsa one.
Yeah, you did. All your fans brought COVID.
No, but not like how we will do on Monday. It'll be amazing on Monday. I can't wait. But I don't want us to be on that bus holding up a second place trophy. I think it's Tim Potter's, so I'd rather it be the championship one. But it don't
never hurt anyone to win a league, did it?
Nah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I think
Ryan, when you went up from League One, I'm not taking piss here, but did you win it? I can't remember now.
Yeah, we won it, but we couldn't go to the grounds all season.
Oh, but yours a COVID job.
Yeah. So I've still never seen City win a trophy. Which is great.
Well, yeah, man, I'm already like I've not even started to think about the Prem because when I think about the Prem, I just think relegation battle. And Leeds fans keep telling me, no, let's dream more, but I think there's a little bit of realism because who do we pull in? You know, in the league at the minute, you've got West Ham, Wolves, Man United, Spurs. Well, Man United and Spurs will be better next year. So then it's like Wolves, West Ham. Will they do better? Maybe.
Palace.
But not only that as well. Palace, the fact that West Ham are 17th now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look at their team. Look at West Ham's team and like. Fair enough, it's not a match made in heaven with Graham Potter and it hasn't worked so far, but for it to be said that is the fourth shittest squad in the league is mental.
Jared Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus.
You've just brought that Fulkrug in, who was a German international.
Yeah, exactly.
How's Somerville done there, Joe?
He's been injured, mate, but he didn't play much. I know Rutter's done much better at Brighton. Yeah, he's done well.
He pretty much just took that Ben Rama's spot, didn't he?
Somerville,
just like a bit rotation sort of player.
Yeah. You've got to hope that just someone has a stinker like West Ham did at the start of this season. They made the wrong decision in terms of a manage, but even still then, and I think for me, it's all about getting off to a good start. We have to get off to a good start. If you get off to a good start, then you get yourself in a good position because you will go 3-4 games sometimes without picking up feck all, won't you? You know what I mean? And it's like, have you put enough points on the board to...
Well, that pressure builds quick for your first win, doesn't it?
100%.
Really quick. Like, it was looming over Ipswich for like 3 months, wasn't it? And that got them where they are now.
Joe, it's going to sound like some boring interviewer like on BBC News Channel or something, but what can you learn from your last visit to the Premier League, Joe?
Recruitment, mate. Recruitment. Had the owners not rested on the laurels after a 9th place finish and actually bought some players, would have been all right. But they didn't. their excuse was, I remember it now, oh, well, a lot of them were injured, so there'll be like new signings this time around. It's like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so it's about recruitment. And if ultimately you have to sack the manager, that manager falls under recruitment as well, because we brought in an American car salesman in Jesse Marsh, and that just went 10 times worse. Honestly, is the worst manager ever, and I can't stand that man. And then we ended up with Big Sam in the end. It were like, fucking hell. So yeah, I think it's just all about recruitment nowadays. I think, mate, you can get gems. You can get gems. Just look at Brighton. You know, you can't look at Tanaka. Look at Tanaka. We paid next to nothing for him, and he's got in team at season and been one of the best players in league. You know, so.
Not only that, look at Liam Delap at Ipswich. If Ipswich had maybe uncovered 2 or 3 more players of that calibre for the price they got him for, they wouldn't be in this mess.
Joe, would you want to nick any of them players like maybe Delap, who's come down from Premier League? Is anyone that you'd fancy nicking one? I know Delap probably got someone else.
Delap going like top 6. I would take you around. Yeah, I would love Delap. See, a lot of Leeds fans turn their nose up and they go, well, if they've been relegated, they must be rubbish. Football's not like that. Like, I would take Amari Hutchinson. I would take Fernandez at Southampton, Tyler Diblin. These others as well, even at Leicester and Diddy. Kyle Walker-Peters. These players there.
He's got a clause in his contract to go
8 million or something.
Is it
8 million,
6,
I think.
something like that,
which is nothing, is it? It's just nothing.
Which,
Joe, have you got any players that are on loan that kind of go back to the clubs at the end that you need to maybe get signed?
Solomon, but he doesn't have a future at Spurs, so I'd make Solomon my first signing, to be honest. But I'd make Manor Solomon first signing. All rest. I mean, we've got Joe Rothwell on loan. I think he'll go back. And then someone will probably take Rothwell in the Champo again, maybe. But
gonna need a keeper, that you know that.
I was just going to say that because the keeper's going to be top of your list, isn't it?
Definitely, we need a keeper, mate.
Ramsdale, he does a good job, doesn't he, for a Premier
Aaron
League team?
Ramsdale, yeah. I mean, a lot of late. No, he's rubbish. Honestly, sometimes delusions are grandeur, but hey, it is what it is. Boys, actually, let me get your opinion on that. What about Gus Hamer winning Player of the Year? That's bullshit. He was not the best player in the Championship.
I couldn't believe that.
The biggest robbery were Windass not winning goal at season. That was the biggest robbery.
I just think Hamer's running off a bit of a name of being one of the better players in the Championship now, and I think time's running out, to be honest, of like giving him that benefit of the doubt, because he's evidently a very good player. But the limited amount of times I've watched Sheffield United this season, he hasn't stuck out. He'll jink a player or whatnot, but there doesn't seem to be constant output. And I've seen him ghost like games, which
100%.
That's not what you need in the apparent best player in the division.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was really surprised by it. Madness.
Is this our last show then, or have we got one next week?
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I hadn't really given it much thought. I don't know. Do we do a season review? We'll have a think.
Yeah, because we'll know Sheffield United are playing, and it'll probably be their playoff night, won't it, next week?
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Well, boys, give us score predictions for your games. Ryan, we'll leave you last actually, because will you stay up? Leeds United are going to win the title. I think we will beat. Do you know what? We need 7 goals to get 100 goals scored. So I think we beat Plymouth 7-0. To be honest, I think some of their fans have sold tickets in the Omens to Leeds fans. They're done. So let's go 7-0 Leeds against Plymouth. Ash, what's your score prediction, mate? And are you still on for playoffs? Do you know?
No, get out, man. Get out. No, we play Watford at Watford for the right for the Preston and Bristol Cup. So basically to finish 12th. So nice. That's it. So we are right on the prediction that I had this start of the season, which makes me a little bit smug, to be honest, you know. So I'll take that as a win, even though we've dropped off a massive. Away to Watford. Like I said, nothing game. Would love to sign off with a win, but it's looking like Danny Roll's last game.
Goodbye, Danny Roll as well.
Yeah, his first game was away at Watford, and his last one looks like it'll be away at Watford. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Wednesday win. Just purely for the shits and giggles.
Nice. What about you, Cosse? Have you got...
Leighton Orient, they need a result, Huddersfield, to get in the top 6, and Huddersfield let everyone have a result. So they're going to win 3-1 in Jonathan Hogg's last ever game as Huddersfield. But Brian, this is the one we need.
Yeah, come on.
Hull City are going to go to Fratton Park, and we're going to win 2-0.
What is it going to matter?
Yeah, we win, we stay up.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, Derby and Stoke play each other. So whatever the outcome, a win keeps us up.
My days.
And I'm going to go a step further. Abu Kamara is going to be the goal scorer.
Nice.
Yes,
there you go. It's all on. It's all on. Listen, I'd love Derby to go down just to give it them second tier, lads. Because they're both Derby fans, but we'll see. Listen, folks, make sure you go check out these amazing channels.
Cheers, guys.
We might be back next week. We might not be by Cossie. I know Cossie was getting shouted by someone anyway. I could see him going, I'll be 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So Cossie's left already, as is always the case. Ryan, tell people where they can get you on that TikTok.
Ryan.Frankish3.
There we go. Ryan.Frankish3. Ash, you are over at Rogers Ash. And of course, the Wednesday week. Folks, I'll be back tomorrow with a preview. And then obviously Saturday is the last game of the season. And then we can forget about this Tin Pot League and start.
Well, Ryan might be saying that, but for a different reason.
I'm with you.
We'll be there. But this show is going to continue, folks, by the way. This show is going to continue.
Oh, it is. I can't wait to see Joe's face every week.
There might be a few where I go, can't make it this week. But I'm gonna see if we can get some others as well, Bradford, Barnsley, and give it a proper look. But yeah, thanks for watching as always, folks, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, hang on, we did have some super chats. Jimmy Glass says, "What has happened to Hull City out of nowhere? League One incoming." I think Ryan's answered that throughout the show, Annie. Hopefully, you stay up. I think you will. And Daniel says, "Hi Joe, nice to catch a live stream. If you're hungry, when you visit Leeds on Monday, go to Hillycroft Fisheries in Morley." Thanks, mate. Cheers for that. Cheers for that.
Sponsorship opportunity there, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Right, great stuff. See you later, folks. I just banged my arm.